Today, we are going to learn how to report what someone says in French. This is called reported speech. In this lesson, we will focus on three very important structures in French: dire que, demander si, and demander de. Let's get started. When we report what someone says, we always need a connector. Connector is a small word that connects the person and the sentence that is reported. Each structure has its own connector. Now, let's see the first one. We use dire que when someone says a statement, not a question, not a command. It's just information. First, let's look at the direct speech. Il dit, je suis fatigué. He says, I'm tired. Now we want to report this sentence. We use dire que. Il dit qu'il est fatigué. Il dit qu'il est fatigué. The word que means that in English, and it's mandatory here. Without que, the sentence is incorrect. Remember this rule. If there is a statement, if there is an information, we should use dire que. Elle dit qu'elle aime le français. Il dit qu'il travaille aujourd'hui. A common mistake is to forget que. This is wrong. Il dit qu'il est fatigué. We should say, il dit qu'il est fatigué. Il dit qu'il est fatigué. Let's move to the second structure, reporting a question. We use demander si to report a yes or a no question. Let's start with a direct question. Elle demande, tu viens ce soir? Elle demande, tu viens ce soir? She asks, are you coming tonight? Now we want to report the question with demander si. Elle demande si tu viens ce soir. Elle demande si tu viens ce soir. The word si means if or whether in English. It tells us that the sentence was a question. Remember this rule. Yes, no question, always demander si. Example, il, tu es fatigué? Il, tu es fatigué? He, are you tired? Reported question. Il demande si tu es fatigué. Il demande si tu es fatigué. He asks if you are tired. Another example, direct question. Il pleut? Il pleut? Day, is it raining? Reported question. Il demande s'il pleut. Il demande s'il pleut. They ask if it's raining. Important rule, do not say demande que here. If this is a yes-no question, always say demande si. Let's look at the last structure, reporting a request or a command. We use demander de when someone asks another person to do something. Example, elle dit ferme la porte. Elle dit ferme la porte. She says close the door. Now we want to report the request, so we say elle demande de fermer la porte. Here, after demander de, the verb is always in the infinitive. So, for requests and commands, we always use this structure. Demander de, infinitive verb. Another example. Il dit, écoute-moi. He says, listen to me. Reported request. Il demande d'écouter. Il demande d'écouter. One more example. Le professeur dit, ouvrez le livre. The teacher says, open the book. Reported request. Le professeur demande d'ouvrir le livre. Le professeur demande d'ouvrir le livre. Let's summarize. We use dire que for reporting a statement. Demande si for reporting a yes-no question. And demande de for reporting a request. Thank you so much for watching this video. Try to do some grammar exercises because they are absolutely essential if you want to learn French from scratch. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and write one sentence in the comments using today's grammar. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.